Hey everyone, well I just want to give you an update on these TBR 119 radios. It's been a minute and I apologize. I had kind of hoped that something would come out sooner, something more positive from our friends at Guohetec, and it hasn't. So the long and the short of it was, this time last year, exactly last year, they had asked for 6 months to come up with a new fix, new binary, new firmware for the radios. So I pulled down my previous video that was on this subject, held it as I agreed to them for 6 months, trying to give them an good faith attempt to fix things. So they come out with the new version, and myself and a whole bunch of other people installed the new version, and it literally bricked all the radios the next day. So it was glorious. Luckily on the 119s and later on the 171s, you were able to remove the battery to be able to reset it, and then you could roll back. But for like the Q900s, where the battery's on board and you can't just remove it or disconnect it, the battery had to drain and die for you to be able to get it into a mode that you could reset. So long and the short of it was, then they kind of scrambled, spent 2 or 3 days, a week, whatever it was, coming up with another fix, which they did, and it kind of fixed it, made it a little more stable. Then they released another kind of patch fix. Still don't know what the heck that was for, but so it's like 3.4, 5, 3.4.6 are the versions for this thing now. And even that's kind of funny, because like they call it 3.4.6, but when you upload it, it says 3.4.5, but it's actually 3.4.6 because the hash and the volume of the file that you upload is actually bigger. So they missed that little detail. But anyway, so the computer, or the radio stayed stable, but there's still bugs. For example, I thought I had fried the finals on 70 centimeter and 2 meter bands, and because it would transmit, but there was no deviation, like it wasn't modulating your voice onto the transmit frequency. So I thought I fried the finals. So then I troubleshooting, went to different bands to see where, which finals are on where, and which ones are fried and not fried. Ended up on 6 meter band, it worked, and okay, good. Then I went back and I tried 2 meter, 70 centimeter, gloriously worked. So I would call that a big bug, and a few other people have encountered that exact same bug. Another one was DMR. DMR is still jacked. In that it transmits only simplex. Nowhere in the United States will DMR on these things work through a DMR repeater. So it's simplex, DMR to DMR, that's it. Then when you put in if you go into the all, there's all, group, and single DMR modes. But when you're in all and you try to put in a radio ID, it breaks, reboots, locks it all up until it's happy with its crash, and then you can reboot it. But that was duplicated again. So DMR is still a bit of a mess. Power is a total freaking mess. So in an attempt to fix the power, I'm going to call it a fix. So on the UHF and 2 meter bands, they give you the high and low option. So you can set the high or you can set the low. You don't have to set it to one band to set whatever power. So you hold the power down, it goes to high or low. And then you can, in the menu, you can go to, however many watts of power. It doesn't matter. Whatever number you set it to, it still transmits at the exact same wattage. So, great. So you don't really know what wattage it's actually transmitting, but I just come to find out, especially like on 70 centimeter, for example, it was like somewhere between 3 and 5 watts, regardless whether you set it to 20 watts or not. 3 to 5. So whatever number you set it to, irrelevant. The little power bar on the screen, once again, that's a bunch of baloney too. It'll say like 20 watts, but it's not 20 watts. It'll say 10 watts, it's not 10 watts. So that little slidey scale isn't working. So the long and short of it is, it's still a whole bunch of the same, which is, it's not trustworthy. It's not, it's not something you're going to go out with and rely on to function every single time. It's buggy. They've done a lot of work on the new PMR-171. They're giving that out, they're marketing, but under the covers is the exact same software across the Q900, the PMR-171, and the TBR 119s. It's the exact same, pretty much hardware, pretty much the exact same software. It's just a different case box and where the antennas and the other buttons pop out. It's all the exact same. So with all the effort that they're putting this PMR-171, you see a lot of other YouTube channels that they're giving them test models so they can make videos of them. But those guys are running into a lot of the same issues with these things. And to be honest with you, you need like a freaking, it's almost like one of those bridge to comm courses that you get for the Anytone 878s and stuff like that. You almost need one of those courses learning how to use this thing because the manual is kind of rough. So you really need to get your hands in, play, and hit all the buttons. But yeah, those guys, you know, on the other YouTube channels that do nothing but ham radios that Guohetec is giving these radios to test, they're not overly impressed. Other people have done more detailed testing with them, with deviation and spurious emissions and all that. Not great either. Testing I've done where I've had like a Xiegu 6100 or a Xiegu G90. I've done it with these two side by side. The only thing I switched was the actual computer part of the radio itself. You know, I switched the antenna, same cable, same feed line, same grounding, same everything. And there was a noticeable signal noise ratio difference, and it was digital modes too. So it wasn't like you can even say the mic, I wasn't holding it right, or I didn't have the gains all set properly and blah, blah, blah. You can do the gains and stuff obviously in digital mode, but still, noticeable signal noise ratio differences on the exact same radio shots. So it is what it is. I ordered a spare handset for the 119 from them. They sent me a PMR-171 handset and then off of Amazon, and they blame me. They said, you ordered the wrong one. I'm like, no, I didn't, because there's a different price point and everything else. And then they had me, so I said, I want to return it. They're like, okay, don't return it. We'll send you a new one, the correct one, sorry. Okay, great, after they blame me. Then, so they eventually sent me the correct one. And then they were like, okay, you're going to make me do it on AliExpress too. They made me order the correct one for a penny, but they ordered the correct one on Ali, not Amazon. I was like, okay, weird, but fine. I ordered it. And then they wanted me to mail the incorrect one to someone else in the US. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. I wanted to return the other one. You said no, fine. Give me the one I ordered correctly and paid for, which they eventually did, like I said, through Ali, weird. But then they want me to ship the return one to someone else in the US, another customer who they clearly messed up with too. So once again, it's just a track history of this. And lately, I guess for the last month, you know, when they kind of shelved these for the most part. I don't use them that much because I can't rely on them. I'm using my Anytone 578, 878, for UHF, VHF. For HF stuff, I'm using the G90, Xiegu 6100, because they're reliable, they sound great, you know, they work. These don't. So still, as of right now, I'm praying against prayers that they'll finally unscrew the software on this and make it work like it's promised, like it's supposed to, and they don't ignore us. Like, you know, we're on that WhatsApp forum for the Q900 119 171. He hasn't replied in a month to most people, at least 3 weeks. Or 2 of the bugs I said, he just hasn't said. Could be on vacation, I don't know. But the long and the short of it is, since they sent out the fix for the one that they did last year, so that was actually 7 months, not even 6 months, the fix, the big flagship release, 6 months to fix all this stuff, blew up. And so that was last November. In early December, they put the patches in just to get it working, so it didn't brick anymore. And now we haven't heard anything since. They just keep telling us they're working on it. But you know, now it's 4.5, 5 months that we're into this again, and we still don't have a fully trustworthy, functioning radio. You know, I know other guys who have got other, you know, 171s and other 119s, and the quality control is still not there. It's things aren't working. There's bad solder joints. There's no heatsink compound. You know, the schmeg that they put in for heat conduction in the transistors and heat sinks to put in the radios. They're already putting heatsink compound in it. So there's a lot of quality control issues still there that they're not addressing. Like I said, I'm still hoping against hope that we can get this thing working one day. But as of right now, which is, you know, April 18, 2024, it's still a brick in that I don't trust it. I'm not humping a 25-pound radio around with me that I can't trust that it's going to work. So anyway, that's it for now. If I get another update, if they finally get a binary that works, release it to us, I'll make a video singing its praises if that's what it does. And if it's crap, I'll say it's crap. Best thing they could do is either one, hire a really good RF developer to fix these things. They'll move like hotcakes. They'll sell like, you know, they won't keep them on the shelf if it does what it says, whatever the marketing says. But so either hire a quality RF developer or give me something I can trust, or open source it. Open source the software, and then, you know, let people who know what they're doing actually work on the software. But once again, I suspect that the software on this was pirated from another HF rig, and they don't want people to get in under the covers to see that. So I don't know that to be a fact. It's just it's a suspicion, let's just say. But as of right now, I'm still saying save your money. Don't jump on these things yet, and we can kind of still hope and pray that they'll eventually fix it. So as of that's it. I don't have anything else to add, so good luck. And I hope it helps make a decision on what you're purchasing. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.